in 2021.
Yeah, NBC's Morgan Chesky is taking a look at all the big events to mark on this calendar. Hey, Morgan, good morning. Happy New Year.
All right, Morgan, thank you. I can't wait for the Olympics.
I know.
It'll be good.
Yep. Here we go, and let's get.
Coming up next, one of the few things we are.
Genius ideas for an easier and more enjoyable life. I think that's the title. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I believe her. But first, let's go back to Dylan. Dylan, you're not off duty yet. We got to get a check of the weather.
I know. We've got the first full.
All right, Al, thank you. And coming up next, one of the more hopeful images. Been a good feeling.
Our own Harry Smith joins us with more. Harry, good morning.
Yeah.
Accepting and moving on. We'll bring Yasmin back.
We will.
right.
We will.
We definitely will. Go to today.com, too. We're going to put all the tips on there.
Yeah.
All right?
All right,
Today.com/start today.
The answer was plants. Plants are a trend.
Plants.
Yeah, Yasmin's
They are.
mom,
Plants and
we're
journal.
sorry. We want to apologize.
journal.
You know Yasmin's mom was waiting for this moment.
I know.
Don't
We'll get
worry.
it back.
All right, coming up next, we are catching up with late-night host Lily Singh.
Forward to that, but first.
Don't ask me what we have, because you know I don't know.
What's
Lily
coming
Singh.
up?
You have
Lily Singh.
You have Lily Singh,
Yeah.
and that's when you go.
And Jenna.
It's going to be so great.
So amazing.
right.
But you'll have to wait to see
Explore
that.
that
We've got to
sober
clean the
curious
windows on the
theme.
new apartment.
Oh, yeah, look at that. We're back after your local news and weather. Have a great day.
That we say good morning to Dylan, who's in for Al. Good morning. Good morning, guys. We do have some snow to talk about in your typical lake effect snow areas, where we do have lake effect snow warnings. We also have some spotty snow showers across the higher elevations back through the Appalachians. Now, it all depends on wind direction, and the wind is pretty strong, so that's why we're seeing those snow bands develop off the eastern shores of Lake Ontario and Lake Erie, but they're extending inland quite a bit, and that will reduce visibility very quickly in those areas, so you want to make sure you just take it easy, but you know, especially up near like Jamestown, New York, you know what lake effect snow is all about. So we will see likely up to a foot of snow in some areas. Elsewhere, also back through Michigan, we could see about 6 or more inches of snow with the lake effect kicking on there as well. Down in D.C., we're looking at lots of sunshine as we get into Wednesday. We are going to see temperatures cool, but I'd say fairly seasonable for this time of year, 39 by 12 o'clock, and by 3 o'clock, mix of sun and clouds and a temperature of 40. That's a look at the weather across the country. We'll get to your local forecast in the next 30 seconds. Back to you guys.
All right, Dylan, thank you. Still have Miss Dreyer standing by to check the weather.
Good morning again, and we do have a little bit of that snow back through the Great Lakes, and we also have some mountain snow in the higher elevations in the northern Rockies. It's warm and very windy out in California. We could see gusts up to 50 to 80 miles per hour, and we're also looking at a really nice day down along the Gulf Coast. Temperatures in the 60s with lots of sunshine. That's a look at the weather across the country. Now here's a peek out your window. And that's your latest forecast. Over to you guys.
All right, thank you, Dylan. Coming up here, the
Welcome to Today, and thank you so much for joining us on this Saturday morning. Good to be with both of you. Peter, hard to believe we're talking about another storm. We just dried out from the last one.
Yeah, that's right. One of those days when you open up your phone and it says 100% chance of snow. At our house, we just had the carrot left from the snowman on the ground, but I think it's going to get buried pretty quick.
Yeah, we just crawl right back under the covers. Dylan, that's our top story. What's the latest on this cold and snow?
Guys, I apologize for whatever you're saying. I cannot hear you. I was just waiting to watch your lips stop moving. So I'm just going to give you the forecast because I know that's what everyone wants to hear, and we'll regroup later. We'll reconvene. But we do have wind chill alerts, wind chill advisories for so many people because it is going to be exceptionally cold. I mean, wind chills at 50 below zero cold. Here's the Arctic Circle up here, and when the winds are diving down right from that, we get some bitter cold temperatures. Fargo, the wind chill currently is 35 degrees below zero. Feels like 21 below in Minneapolis. Marquette feels like temperatures today won't be all that much better. We're only going to feel like it's about 17 below this afternoon in Minneapolis and St. Paul. Now, tomorrow morning looks even worse. 45-degree below zero wind chills in International Falls to start off your Sunday morning. So the cold air is in place. So as this next storm system gets going, it's mostly rain.
No audio. No audio. No audio. No audio. No audio.
Of snow, including areas like just north of Philadelphia. New York's right on that line, so it's questionable, but I do still think we could get about 6 inches of snow. Most of our higher totals where the coldest air is will be up across New England, especially into Boston and Hartford, where 6 to 8 inches of snow is more likely. Guys?
All right, Dylan, those are some brutal temperatures you're talking about. Thank you, and we will get the rest of the country's forecast in just a few minutes.
Now to the
And so the situation is very dire there, Dylan.
It certainly is, and it's not going to really warm up to like 40s, 50s until we get into the weekend. So it is going to stay brutally cold. We are now watching the storm make its way into the mid-Atlantic and into the Northeast. It is snowing pretty good in Philadelphia, starting to coat the grounds there, and we are going to see that continue for the next several hours. But to add insult to injury, temperatures right now are below freezing across most of Texas, and we have just a little disturbance producing more snow and more ice. But the big event we're tracking for today is bringing that snow through New Jersey, through Maryland, through Delaware. We're seeing that icing, though, in areas like Virginia, where we already have about a half an inch up to a 3/4 of an inch of ice coating the ground. A treacherous, dangerous situation there that will likely lead to some power outages as well. As we go later into this afternoon, the snow and the ice kind of fizzle out for a bit, but then it regenerates overnight into Friday morning. So we'll see a secondary round of snow and ice across the mid-Atlantic as we go through Friday morning. So we're looking for mostly ice through Virginia. That's the dangerous stuff. We also have more snow and ice likely down across southwestern Texas, of all places, and additional snowfall through the Northeast. We're looking for about 4 to 6 inches, I'd say, of widespread snow, but it's really the icing that coats the trees, the power lines, and the roadways that will be the biggest concern. But I'd say a widespread 4 to 6 inches, lesser amounts, I'd say, as you go farther south where you see that changeover. And here is the ice we're talking about in Virginia, in Maryland. I mean, a half an inch up to 3/4 to an inch of ice is just very, very dangerous. Savannah.
All right, Dylan, thank you. We'll check
Dylan with the rest of the forecast. Hey, Dylan.
Hey, good morning again. And we talked about the rain and the snow and the ice, but I want to also point out the severe weather potential, especially down through South Carolina into Georgia and the panhandle of Florida, with damaging winds and tornadoes also a possibility. Let's look at the weather across the country. We'll get to your local forecast in the next 30 seconds.
Visibility as that snow intensity continues to get the uptick here around the city. Elizabeth, Patterson, Yonkers, a little bit tapered off north and west of there, but that dark blue band indicating that heavier snow that continues from Mercer into Monmouth County, and really the next few hours we'll see that continue, amounting to about 5 to 8 inches in as well.
And that's your latest forecast, Savannah.
All right, Dylan, thank you. And coming up, we're going to look back.
Snowiest 10 days to go.
Yeah, right, Dylan? Good morning. What you got?
Good morning. We do have a little bit more snow in New York City and across New England, but we are going to see improvements through the day. We are looking at the winter storm watches, the advisories, the warnings for 61 million people now, mostly for the snow and ice. Most of the snow will be across New England, just a little bit of snow left over through New York, through northeastern Pennsylvania, and still a little icing down through southern New Jersey and into Delaware, too. This is the last gasp of this storm system. It is pulling away, and as it does so, we will see an end to the snow, first in New Jersey and New York through the mid-Atlantic, and then eventually across New England as we go into tonight. So additional snowfall will be minimal for most areas, except where it lingers a little bit more up through Boston, about 2 to 4 inches, isolated higher amounts, too. But then this storm moves out, and temperatures will begin to warm up as we go into the weekend. That's a look at the weather across the country. We'll get to your local forecast in the next 30 seconds. And that's your latest forecast. Back to you guys.
All right, Dylan, thank you so much. Dylan, we know you love it because you're our science gal.
I know. We got to talk to him yesterday, and I said, are you worried that you might be landing on a life form that could develop into, you know...
Oh, yeah, like, what if you crush
bigger?
something?
He said the chances are we're looking for past life. Like, the chance of future life on Mars is kind of non-existent, so we're looking for
I'm not kidding that I have, like, 100.
I know.
Okay. Next
we can pick his brain for hours,
yes, exactly.
I think. Yeah. I can only talk about weather on Earth, though. So we do have very, very cold temperatures. 48 states now are seeing temperatures below freezing. And look at these dates. Go back to February 8th in Oklahoma City. That's the last time temperatures were above freezing. You go back to February 3rd in Minneapolis. So we have seen about 10 to 15 days with temperatures below freezing, even in Dallas, 5 days since it's gotten above freezing. Right now, wind chills make it feel like it's in the teens, even some single digits. Dallas still feels like it's 6 degrees when you factor in the wind. And going through this afternoon, we're still looking for temperatures to be well below average. Houston, though, will at least feel like 39, so it is going to...
No audio. No audio. No audio. No audio. No audio.
And that's your latest forecast.
Dylan, thank you very much. Carson has
So confession, sometimes